Hey there, this is BaronvonKlausnitzer, the Royal Wingers. I'm here with my fourth video showing off my Leviathan class Battlecruiser build. This one will hopefully be a little bit shorter than the last one I put on, which I realized was, after I posted it, was kind of excessively long, so I'm just going to show you the highlights of the alterations I've made to the ship since then. First, as you can see, is I've given her a paint job. I've also turned off my no heavy camo mod, which I probably should have turned back on before I recorded this, but so be it. I turned it back on because usually there's a second ship in this server that Tom is working on, and because he's using light armor and heavy armor for different functions within that ship, he needs to be able to differentiate between it clearer. Anyway, as you can see, I did get kind of lazy in places where I didn't go through the effort of trying to cover all the gray, especially where you can see like the hatches where the angular armor is. However, because it does kind of resemble the dazzle camouflage that you saw in some early World War II era warships, I'm actually kind of happy with the appearance. I went with a blue, black, and dark gray color scheme over the standard kind of mid-gray that I built it with, because I like the way that I like that color combination, and I think it gives it some interesting effects here. Other than that, the exterior hasn't changed too much, so we're going to go in. I'm going to apologize for the excessive choppiness on this. This ship is finally starting to break my computer a little bit. Although if I was doing this on my old computer, it would have broken it by now. So, still happy. We're going to go up into the hangar bay. Here, hopefully that will... As you can see right away, I've added a ton of lights into the hangar bay. I realized how dark it was in here, especially when everything's sealed up. So you come over here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to close the hangar doors and reactivate the hangar vents. Let's come back. I installed timer blocks, so now I can do a bunch of this stuff much easier. You can see a couple of them up there. The rest are hidden within the crawl space area, which I might take you in to have a look at later in this video. But you can see with the two vents, it pressurizes it pretty damn quickly. And we come up here. And I like this one. This I installed on the advice of Tom, apparently because he kept venting my entire ship's atmosphere every time you try to go in and out of it. But I have an automatic airlock. Activate that. Door opens. Run through. Graphic glitch with door doesn't close all the way. Is back naturally. I think it should only be 5 seconds. Sometimes it feels a lot longer than that. Door closes. And then I added like a 10-second delay, which is meant to be the rough equivalent of this airlock pressurizing itself, although it doesn't actually pressurize itself, so it's really kind of pointless. I'm trying to stick to as much realism as possible as I built the ship, so you're going to have a delay in the airlock. And then anytime now, yep, this door opens and you are now into the main ship, and that door will close behind you. As you go through your location, see I have these signs. That's mostly because Tom and King SWAT kept getting lost in the ship, even though I think it's pretty straightforward to navigate. But I also spent a month building the damn thing, and they've only been in it 2 or 3 times each. Button panels to activate. I should have showed off my hangar lights. Oh well, I will show off. I don't remember what these buttons do. Shit, I don't remember. Okay, there we go. So I have lights installed now on every floor. Pretty well differentiated, so you can turn on like hallway lights versus mess hall lights and things like that. Anyway, when we come back, I'll be up on one of the upper decks so I can show you some of the interior design changes I've made. Hey there, back again. As you can see, I'm now up on, this is actually deck 3, and you can see I have lights installed, and you can see how, because I didn't really like the look of the hard right angle corners, I found a mod on the workshop which gives me these nice corner pieces, so it kind of creates a slightly more organic looking hallway space. And then I'm actually going to take you out into the crawl space, I think. I'm not going to waste your time showing you how to get out there, except that's through those doors. Hey there, back again. As you can see, we're now out in the crawl space where there's been some major changes. I've added a shit ton more gyros, including a bunch of these. This is a mod called the Ultra Gyro. Each of those 3x3x3 gyros is equivalent of 30 of the standard size gyros. I ended up adding those because I was having a hard time getting the ship to actually turn using just small gyros. In later builds in this series, I will probably just end up keeping or just using the Ultra Gyros as much as possible and minimize my use of small gyros. To actually go through and eliminate every small gyro in the ship and replacing them with the Ultra Gyros would be a real pain. Plus, I crammed them in spaces where the Ultra Gyros wouldn't fit, so for now I'm just keeping the combination of the two. So it gives it a little bit more redundancy in case of battle damage. You won't lose all your maneuvering capability. What I also have down here, well, you can also see those are the rest of my timer blocks to control things like the airlocks and a few other bits and bobs about the ship. Is down there is my hyperdrive. Now, Keen has just released the jump drives for these, which have been very controversial from what I've seen on the forums. This is actually the hyperdrive mod by Darth Biomech, which is just a giant size, far more powerful jump drive. I used it because to get this thing masses a lot. I'll show you that shortly. And to get a decent enough range without having to stack like 6 or 7 standard jump drives, I just use this hyperdrive. Also, I think it looks cool. I changed its name to jump drive in the ship's inventory, so if you just look at the inventory you wouldn't know the difference, but it should be good. Anyway, I'm gonna head towards the bridge now, and so we can take a look at some of this ship's more or less final vital statistics. Hey there, back again. You're back on the bridge now. As you can see, I think I had these lights installed actually last time I showed you, I'm not sure, but what we're going to do is jump into the pilot seat. And I'm actually going to turn the HUD display back on, just so you can see what we have here. As you can see, it masses 9.5 million kilograms. Not the heaviest ship I've built, but certainly up there. 52 thrusters, 1,323 gyros. So it's a big damn ship. I have 4 Titan engines on it, which, as you can see, accelerates it decently. I was hoping for better acceleration, but the ship ended up getting so massive that even those Titan engines are having issues moving it. I considered tacking on a couple more, but to do so would require a lot of reworking of the outer hull, which I really don't feel like investing into it right now, and also I think just ruin the overall look that I've managed to achieve thus far. So it's not quite as zippy as maybe a Battlecruiser should be, nor is it as fast as the ship colors that Tom has been working on, which has I think 6 Titan engines thrusting it, and it's slightly more than half the mass of this. That thing can just accelerate like there's no tomorrow. Breaking it is kind of a problem, but anyway, so she's pretty much done at this point. There's a little bit more tweaking. In fact, I'll bring up the inventory show you what I've been doing here, is almost every one of my major systems is now grouped. You can see right here, like some of these names are based on the fluff that I've had working in my head around it. Like Forward Grape Shop is actually those Telian dual batteries that are mounted in the bow, things like that. Or Kinetic Energy Project Launcher is actually the friggin' nuke launcher I have mounted on this thing. And then you can see my jump drive, which would allow me to jump just shy of 3,400 kilometers. Not bad. So, like repeating myself again, but she's substantially complete at this point. I'm going to go through and do some more tweaking, do some more programming, maybe a little bit more decoration, but otherwise, I think she'll probably be up in the workshop within a week or so. About to get really busy again with between work and other stuff, so I might not have as much time to work on it as I've had in the past. Anyway, I hope you like this ship. I hope you liked seeing her come together. Comments and constructive criticism are always appreciative. And keep an eye out, because she should be in the workshop. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.